Cadillac will let Escalade IQ buyers opt for flip-and-fold captain's chairs or more luxurious executive seats, $9,495, with 14-way adjustability and a center console stocked with stowable trays. The trays lock in place once stowed and appear to be made of a sturdy cast aluminum alloy. The executive seats are nearly identical to the front two seats, likewise offering heating, ventilation, and massage functionality, and are mounted further aft than the flip-and-fold seats that come standard. They are more luxurious and offer more legroom, but with the console in place and no quick means to tilt out of the way, they impede access to the full flat third row. Nevertheless, the third row is standard, as Cadillac says its buyers like to have them even if they're only needed once or twice a year. We sat in both types of seat, and found that the standard flip-and-fold units were still quite comfortable and offered more than enough legroom for passengers well over 6 feet tall. The only place where rear seat room does start to hem in tall passengers is headroom. Every Escalade IQ will come with a huge, panoramic moonroof, but the glass ends just above the second row passengers' heads, bringing the roof down a bit closer. Nevertheless, first and second row occupants still get just a bit more headroom than in the internal combustion Escalade. Passengers above 6'4" or those with tall torsos should reach for the keys, or call shotgun, which should be the plan in most vehicles. Third row seats have a lower hip point and lose an inch of headroom compared to the ICE Escalade, so they're better suited for smaller occupants. Gilligly, Haggerty. The standard air suspension is burdened, quite literally, with the job of achieving a high level of comfort for all riders, and given what it has to work with, it does a decent job. Cadillac states it's tuned physically and digitally to be more comfortable than the work trucks it shares components with, but it won't trick anyone into thinking the IQ is floating on a cloud. Many of the bumps, rolls and head rocking are certainly mitigated, it's just that everything else needed to haul the mattress-sized batteries is so dense, much of the road feel still manages to permeate through the cabin. Conveniently, the spacious second row, boisterous AKG sound system and seatback entertainment screens are enough to distract from the odd jolt. An executive package further ups the lux factor by providing spacious first-class seats and a center console for those who desire maximum opulence. In contrast, drivers are in the unenviable position of piloting the massive landcraft around, though thankfully Cadillac has put its many years of experience with the standard Escalade to good use in making this a more manageable job. Along with a multitude of drive assists, steering, brake and throttle response is sharp, even in the default tour mode, allowing for quick decisive action in maneuvering, be it for lane changing, overtaking or merely avoiding hazards throughout the city. Further assisting things along is the 7.2 degrees of rear steering the Escalade IQ engages to either stabilize the SUV at high speed or to round tight spots at a crawling pace. There's also arrival mode, which is the fancy version of the Hummer EV's crab walk. This gives drivers the ability to slide diagonally in or out of tight spots, though it takes practice to master. Alex Cologianni's Top Gear. Title: Lawsuit alleges Bollinger Motors is broke, production on hold. Content: Detroit, another electric vehicle startup, Bollinger Motors of suburban Detroit, appears to be in financial distress. The founder and former CEO of the Class 4 truck maker, Robert Bollinger, who left in June, filed a $10 million suit against Bollinger Motors on March 21 and is seeking to have a receiver appointed to manage and possibly wind down the business by liquidating assets until he is paid in full. The dispute centers around a $10 million loan Bollinger made to his old company in October. The terms of the loan call for periodic interest-only payments of $125,000, according to the lawsuit, which was filed in the court for the Eastern District of Michigan. Robert Bollinger filed the lawsuit after the first interest payment, due February 28, was not made within a 3-day grace period. The company put up its entire assets as collateral for the loan, according to the lawsuit. Despite receiving a $125,000 payment March 12, Robert Bollinger is asking the court to appoint the receiver to secure the company's assets to ensure he and its creditors are paid. The company has built around 40 of its B4 electric trucks since production started last fall. The vehicles were built by Roush Enterprises under contract. It is unclear how many have been sold to fleet operators. Had the opportunity to visit Mazda's North American headquarters in Irvine, California, and it truly embodies this philosophy. The beautiful campus reflects a remote-first culture, allowing associates to work where they feel most productive, an extension of Mazda's human-centered approach. This focus is evident in the company's operations and growth trajectory. At Bollinger Motors Oak Park, Michigan, headquarters, it looked like business as usual early March 24. Employees were seen entering the building, and the parking lot was full. That includes 34 completed B4 trucks parked in rows in the lot behind the building. The B4 has a sticker price of $135,000. The lawsuit claims the value for all trucks built is more than $5 million. Robert Bollinger's lawsuit alleges that Bollinger Motors is insolvent, can't pay its bills and is being sued by at least 2 of its suppliers. This month, Bollinger Motors appointed Chambers as CEO, replacing James Taylor. The company employs about 100 engineers and marketing personnel, down from 130 last fall. Title: Auto tariffs unlikely on April 2 as Trump weighs more targeted reciprocal levies, reports say. Content: The Trump administration is unlikely to implement a tariff on automotive imports on April 2, according to media reports over the weekend. Such a move would be a welcome development for automakers and suppliers who have warned of new levies straining the supply chain. President Donald Trump is now likely to omit sector-specific tariffs from the new round of duties planned for April 2, backing off previous pledges to impose import taxes on automotive, pharmaceutical, and semiconductor products as soon as that day. The news was first reported by Bloomberg and confirmed by the Wall Street Journal. Trump is still considering signing an automotive tariff at another time, Bloomberg reported, citing White House officials. Flavio Volpe, head of the Canadian Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association, says with all the layers of tariffs and the stream of new announcements and threats, the reports offer zero comfort. For industries that rely on exports to the U.S., tariffs could be a major hit as their customers south of the border may buy fewer goods or switch to American alternatives. Volpe says U.S. President Donald Trump is putting major auto companies like General Motors and Ford at risk with his tariff policies, jeopardizing Canadian suppliers at the same time. The auto industry continues to plan and brace for April 2nd, which Trump has called Liberation Day. The administration is still expected to roll out reciprocal tariffs on U.S. trading partners starting that day. Had the